morning. Today we're talking about hydrangeas, flowers galore in our summertime garden. So often we're in love with those bluey hydrangeas, the endless summers, but in reality those don't always live here very well. So here I'm going to talk about some hardy hydrangeas, ones designed perfectly for the shade and ones that can tolerate a little bit more sun. So in this family over here, this is Hydrangea Paniculata, and it comes in all sorts of shapes and sizes. So I've just picked three of our favorite ones today. The very first one I'm going to talk about is Quickfire Hydrangea. So this is a beautiful, beautiful shrub. The new growth comes out with these red stems, and it's one of the first hydrangeas to start flowering. It has a very open sort of lacy flower that turns bright pink, and the flowers just get a deeper pink, almost to a red in the fall. So once they start blooming, they just keep going all summer long. So this is Quickfire Hydrangea, about 4 to 5 feet tall and wide once mature. The second one I'm going to talk about here, this is called Bombshell Hydrangea. So Bombshell, as you can see, is a very, very compact shrub, 2 to 3 feet tall and wide. A little bit smaller, cone-shaped flower, pure white, but this thing is just covered, completely covered in flowers. But again, it's really nice and compact, so you can put this one, tuck it closer to the front of a border. This is Bombshell. This one here, although there are no flowers on it yet, is one of our favorites. This is Limelight Hydrangea, probably one of the most popular paniculata hydrangeas. It has a really big cone-shaped flower that first emerges a bright green, then turns pure white and goes to a sort of pinkish color in fall. This one's really pretty because as it blooms throughout the summer, it changes color. So it starts green, then goes white, and then ends up pink. And what I like to do with these ones is actually leave the flowers on over winter, so you have something to look at, and they dry perfectly on the shrub. And then come spring, you just cut the old flowers off and do a little bit of shaping, not too much pruning needed at all. So this is the Hydrangea Paniculata. They can tolerate full sun as long as there's adequate moisture. But again, beautiful flowers summer long. So these ones will start blooming sort of middle of June, right until freeze up. Okay, so our next family over here, this is the smooth hydrangeas. So Hydrangea arborescens. I picked three here. All of these ones get white flowers to whitey green flowers, and there are other varieties that get pink flowers, but I just want to talk about these ones because they're so different. So the first one here, and this is a smaller one. So this is Limetta. This one's going to be about 3 feet tall and wide. It's got tiny little flowers here. They come out sort of a jade green color, but it's going to form these little sort of clusters all over this plant. You can see it's already going to start blooming here. And it's got an interesting sort of cut edge on the leaf, so it adds a different texture to the garden. So these hydrangeas like to have morning sun and then shade the rest of the day. And adequate moisture. It's in the name. They love water. Not that they want to sit in water, but they do need evenly moist soil. A newer introduction here, this one came out last year. This one's called Rickey. And look at the size of those leaves, they're just massive. So this one, and you can see it in the picture here a little bit, it's gonna be covered in jade green flowers that open up to a little bit of a bright white. Just covered, and more of like a little umbrella on top of all these clusters of leaves. So it's really quite pretty. Last one here, and this is the mother of all hydrangeas, where all these other ones come from. This is Annabelle. So the Annabelle Hydrangea is going to be about 3 feet tall and wide. The traditional big white round flowers cover this. They just cover it. Often Annabelles need a little bit of support because if it rains and the flowers get wet, then you're going to have some droopy flowers. So we recommend supporting it with a peony cage. So this is Annabelle. So I was mentioning pruning with these guys here. You just trim off the old flowers for these ones. What I recommend with the smooth hydrangeas is kind of at knee height. You take your shears and in the fall or early spring, you just cut right across one smooth line, and then that just keeps them nice and compact in the growth form, very uniform. So these are just some of my favorite hydrangeas. There's so many more to choose from, but these ones, they're tried and true here in Alberta, and we just absolutely love them.